together this morning, and it's a time of abundance. Not only are you pulling things out of your regular vegetable garden, but your soft fruits are ready too. And at this time of the year, I can sometimes feel overwhelmed because I have mulberries, raspberries, strawberries, black currants, gooseberries, and I'm standing next to one of my chokecherry bushes. Everything is ready. And before the birds can get all of them, I want to be able to harvest them. So I thought I would do this video and really tell you about 5 smart things you can do with freshly picked fruits. Because above all else, you don't want to be wasteful. You want to be self-sufficient. You've taken the time through the years to plant these bushes and trees. You've had the expense of watering, taking care of them, fertilizing, composting them. And now they're at that point that they really want to return that to you. So what are you going to do? You can sit back and just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to do so many things besides everything else you have in your life. So let's look at some of these wonderful, delicious, soft fruits. And for me, you know, I want to be self-sufficient and self-reliant, self-sustaining. So I want those fruits to be able to last throughout the whole year. And it becomes a predicament of what and how to preserve all those things. And my goal is always to have these fruits all year round. So how will I do that? What are the things I can do to preserve all those things? And I don't want just jelly, you know? I mean, it's nice to have a variety of jelly, but if that's all I have, pretty soon you have shelves and shelves of jelly and jam. So what can we do with these? Well, first of all, a lot of them you can eat fresh, especially the strawberries, the raspberries, and the mulberries. And when I go to harvest them, I'm always picking them and my fingers are turning colors and it's fabulous. But when it comes to like a chokecherry or a black currant or even a gooseberry, they're tart. So what can I do with those? So let's look at some of the things we can do. One good thing about the grasshoppers, they have eaten a lot of the leaves off. And so it's much easier to find the gooseberries. I never thought the grasshoppers would have a benefit at all. Here's the size of my black currants. I think it's pretty normal for a black currant. They're a little bit smaller than a dime. They're juicy. They have kind of a dry texture though, like a dry wine. Isn't that just fabulous how it has ripe ones, ones that are half ripe, green ones still, so I can come back in a few days or a week and pick again. And they're just, the clusters are just everywhere. Number 1, eat fresh. It's so good for you, so nutritious, and it just is very satisfying picking fruit off of a bush or a tree and being able to eat them. You can freeze them. And a lot of times when I am going to bake pies or add fruits into baked goods, I like to freeze them. The reason I like to freeze them is because the freezing and unthawing process helps break down those cellular walls. And I really would love a gooseberry pie, but I think they would take every single one of my gooseberries for one pie. Instant gratification. I don't know about that. Now when it comes to like a chokecherry in there, and so I can't add those to pies without taking all those seeds out. So that's a con of this type of fruit. Like a chokecherry and a currant, they do make great jams, they make great syrups, you can make wine, you can add them to kombucha. Those are all pros. Now what else could I do with them? Jams and jellies. And in fact, I use a steam juicer so that I can get all the goodness out of these without having to take one of those sieves. Do you remember that when you were little? It was a cone shaped. You had this wooden piece of equipment, and you just spun it around and squeezed all those out. A steam juicer fixes that. And in fact, I'm going to do a video this weekend on using a steam juicer. When I found out about those probably 10 years ago now, it was a life changer. I thought it was the greatest invention on the planet. So look forward to that video. Saturday, I should have that up. Now, what else can I do? How about dehydrating these? The dehydrating is really good. Mulberries, strawberries, raspberries. Once again, choke cherries, they're tart, so I wouldn't dehydrate those. And of course, a lot of times I will smash the juice, get that pulp out of all my fruit, and I'll dehydrate them into fruit roll-ups, which is another option. Because who doesn't like a fruit roll-up? They're fabulous. And it's a great way to preserve it, so I can just grab a fruit roll-up out of the pantry in the middle of winter and I taste that raspberry goodness, or strawberry, or whatever fruit that I'm having. Now soon, I'll also have pears and peaches and apples. So it's a process through the summer on how to preserve all the fresh fruit that you pick. Because really, you just don't want to waste any of it. Now, up here, way up high, I'm never going to pick those choke cherries. The birds can have those. And even when they dry on the bush, the birds will eat them throughout the winter. And I really like my birds coming into my yard, so I'm okay with that. But let's just review real quick. What can we do to preserve freshly picked fruits? Number 1, eat them fresh. Number 2, freeze them. Number 3, jams and jellies. Number 4, dehydrate them. Number 5, fruit roll-ups. And if we wanted to throw in a few more things, how about making fruit mead, wine, kombucha? It's a myriad of things that you can do. If these weren't so sour, I'd eat them right now. That's not bad. But it has a big seed in it. Yummy. As always, like, subscribe, share with the world. Look forward to that video on Saturday on the steam juicer and the process if I'm just going to make juice out of it. And I will do a video next week on making jams and jellies out of all my soft fruit too. I'll see you next time.